We'll hear the names of some of the fishermen that were here: the Solomons, the Whiskey Jacks, Captains, Clarks, Buds, Saunderses, Minos, Robertsons, and the Fletts, and the Mepanicuses. So this is what I came up with. I kind of forgot how it sounded, but rehearsed it a few times at home in front of my wife.
Vision for all, livelihood, not a job, working together, living as one. I remember the man, the names carry on, solemn as the Whiskey Jacks, Captains and the Buds. Yeah, I'm proud to be a part of the line that built the cold war. Bloodline from the past, wise men of the water, wise men of the water. Wise men and women, people of the water, they prepared us a future, a gift for our sons and our daughters. 60 years and going strong, so proud to be carried on. The bloodline of the Saunders, the Minos, Robertsons, and the Fletts. Yeah, I'm proud to be a part of the line that built the cold war. Bloodline from the past, wise men of the water, wise men of the water. Yeah, proud to be a part of the line that built the cold war. Bloodline from the past, wise men of the water, wise men of the water. Oh, the mighty fishermen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. Incidentally, Hector is the son of a former fisherman too as well. His dad has gone on to the spirit world, and his brother actually is the one that holds his late father's fishing license. So thank you, Hector, my brother. Our next opening remarks we're going to have is our president of our corporation, the Norway Fishermen Co-op, Christopher Clark, our president. Come and say a few words. By the way, we're on Livestream here. If somebody could tell me the digits of how you could get on it, please let me know or text it to me.
Tanse, good afternoon. Pagitahok, Gestiatsak, Kaknontinimananak, Nigani Stamagayok, all our dignitaries, visitors. Good afternoon. I greet everyone, the fishermen, all the families, our staff, all the dignitaries, our chief and council, our mayor and council, and all the visitors to our community. Today we celebrate our 60th anniversary. It's been a long time coming, and myself, I always want to honor the founding members. The original president was Augustin Solomon back in 1962. I know a few of the original board members, late Donald Apatagan, late Kenneth McLeod, Richard Balfour, Donald Misoggan, late Norman McLeod, Richard Balfour. I can't remember who the other, I know there were 9 of them. At that time in 1962, they had a vision. They had a vision, and at that time, our fishers were at the mercy of the fish companies that had set up shop here and at Warren's Landing, and at the time, our fishers were excluded from the Lake Winnipeg fisheries. So at that time, our fishers were confined to Playgreen Lake, but at that time, these men, they had a vision. They had a vision to make things better for the fishermen, their families, and so the story goes, how they formed was they were sitting, I believe, at Sandy Islands at the time. They drew out how they were going to be governed and structured, and in the sand with a twig. That was the story that was shared to me. And today we honor those men, and today we honor all the fishers of our co-op, our families, the staff, and commercial fishing in our community has always been a family tradition and family support. So like myself, my family, I'm the son of late Gilbert Clark, and my mom is here today, Susanna Clark. Her maiden name was Colin. But I come from a long line of fishers, both the Clark and Colin side. And today we honor and celebrate our way of life, the industry, and it's been a family tradition up to about 1980. Mom and Dad used to move our family out to Jackfish Island Fish Camp. That's where we spent our summers, and today that's where me and my boys still have our family operation there, and it's something that's a part of me, and I can't imagine doing anything else. But today that fishing's a little more easy. I wouldn't say easier, but with technology and that, it's somewhat more comfortable than our fathers and our grandfathers had it back in the day. And today we honor that, and I welcome everybody coming to celebrate with us, and hope I hope you enjoy your visit here, enjoy your time. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you.
Thank you to our President, Chris Clark. I'm going to introduce you to the board members that are present here. If I forget somebody, you guys don't throw a stick at me, just wave at me. Okay. Our Vice President, I didn't see him in here yet. Stephen Robertson, is he here yet? Stephen? Another board member over there is Elmer Clark. You want to stand up there, Elmer? A young man I just got on recently, Brennan Papanicus. Where's that young guy? Stand up there, Brennan. Acknowledge you. It's our youngest board member. Ronald Robertson. Fasiko. Thomas Bradburn. Sorry, bro. Fasiko. Thomas. Nobody else here, right? You got Kennedy Butt Jr. He's probably working. A carpenter when he's not fishing. What about Chris? Tom, Alex, Saunders. He's working too at, I think he's at 2 mile or 8 mile channel, working for cleanup crew. That's pretty much everybody, right, Chris? Sampogo, Kahinayaga. These are the board of directors that are selected by our members at large. And they represent, I don't want to say, they represent the co-op well. We got some congratulatory messages from the Chief and Council. If I can ask the Chief, and I think Councillor Ed was here too as well, if he's here. If not, Chief. And our Mayor, Leonard Budd, my brother, he was raised at fish in his mouth too, like I was. We both were. Ed, you can come up here, Ed, Councillor Ed. Is there any other council members here? Please come up.
Aren't you a board member? Aren't you a board member?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Mike forgot to mention he's a board member, but you know. And that's coming in this. Ni po yan utat. Precies niet dat wie de naast komt man, de naast komt met ook. You know, I om te gaan naar je na mega asses. 60 years. Na 60 years. I'm 54 in Stanley, so as I magot tell my scantayan, so and I feel kind of young at most of the time, but when you look at 60 years, it's a great milestone. You know, and when thinking back about what I know about Fishermen's Co-op and the fishermen particularly, you know, I remember as a young man, you know, my uncles used to fish. My uncle Hector Saunders and late Chas Saunders, and they were. I used to think of them as very strong men. And then as I got older, realizing how hard work that goes into fishing, it's you guys are probably the strongest men in Norway House to be able to carry all those fish and nets and what have you. So we also know that this co-op is one of the original co-ops in Manitoba. I remember talking to late Nelson Scribe Sr. About what his involvement was, and every band meeting he would tell us that whole story, and so many of us that used to attend those meetings and kind of know the history. It's unfortunate we haven't been sharing that lately. So, but with COVID more or less gone, and hopefully be completely gone before Christmas, I'm being told, so we can start having those those types of meetings and start hearing some of the stories again and concerns. So, the other thing I remember was I used to work for a Shell oil company. I used to be I used to deliver their fuel, and one of the things that my job was to take the fuel truck to the dock. I remember my first customer was late John Charles Mino. I've never met such a humble man. He helped me with my hose and helped me fill his drums, and that the second remembrance I have is memory I have is how I was climbing those huge tanks that used to be down there, and I see a boat pull up, so I climb down fast and jump on a truck to go to the dock, and boy, I guess I hurt my knee, so I'm limping up to the late Andrew Evans's boat. I'm limping up to him, and he says to me, "What happened?" I said, wrapped his hand in Jesus' name and touched my knee. Boy, and pain was gone. So there's a lot of amazing fishermen in the past, and that are not with us no longer. And so the new fishermen and the ongoing fishermen have a great tradition and great history to continue to do what you love doing, is fishing. As a First Nation and as a counselor, Chris reminded me that I know there used to be no fishing on Lake Winnipeg, and one of our strongest positions or stance was during the MIA discussions was to ensure that Norway House fishermen gets a quota on Lake Winnipeg. So after a few months of talks and pressure and what have you, we finally got the fishermen their quota. So from there, it's been hard making a living in fishing, especially lately with all these the world markets being not accessible as before. So we're trying to figure out how can Chief and Council and community assist fishermen that want to continue this business. After all, it is a business, and you guys are every single one of you are businessmen and women. And so I usually, whenever I do bring up Norway House, I do reference the fact that Fishermen's Co-op exists, and that we have individual business people that are continuing to survive on this traditional practice, and our culture is stemmed from that. So we need to continue to work together and promote each other and with our youth and the fishermen. So, I also wanted to Hispanica na naskomitago, miset aspinga biga kumahanu iskogastan the your organization, your fishers. So Norway House Cree Nation members. So every Christmas man and Chris and his board, we have a meeting and we find ways to help. At least until we get 2018, that bond expired. So from there, it's been trying to figure out how to use to and so far we've managed to help each other. So I'm really happy that at least at Christmas time there's something for everyone, including and especially for the fishermen and their families. As you may know me, no better to know than me, but than you, is the water level is pretty high currently. So we are, just so you know, we are discussing this with Manitoba Hydro on the predetermined compensation. But at this point, because of the height or the level, they've actually breached the agreement So we're meeting with Hydro on September 15th, I believe. But they also want, instead of just us and Hydro, they want Manitoba and Canada at the table. So, I mean, the number one goal in those talks is to find a way to help the fishermen with their livelihood. So we're excited to proceed that way. We're also looking at the helping the 2 mile, 8 mile project and trying to bring that into the discussions, and all of this will be shared and fishermen will be invited as we move along on those discussions. So 60 years is a long time. Some of I'm sure a few of them have retired or have given up the fishing, and I'm quite certain, because one of them is a good friend of mine. We will stay a fisherman's community, and First Nation will support each of you as we go on to this next 60 years. So I hope and pray that everything works out well for each and every one of you and your families. I can say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Chief. Councillor Eddy?
Thanks. Good afternoon. I'm bringing congratulatory greetings for my family to yours. I know that the fishermen play a huge role in our community, and you've continued to grow into a successful business, a successful group. And it's all because you, the fishermen, took the bull by the horns, I may say, and followed through with your dream. And that's what I see with your Fishermen's Co-op gas station, your Charlie Biggs, it's all you, the fishermen, how you contributed to the development of your businesses, and I congratulate you. Continue on moving on to further your the success that you've developed, and continue on and developing your potential. Whatever your endeavors are, perhaps we may see a processing plant in the future, perhaps. But I'm sure you guys would be successful in that. I congratulate you. I know you work hard, because my wife was a little girl when she went with her parents to go out fishing, and she was taken from the school and stayed out in the lake for the whole summer. And I commend you, the fishermen, for continue pursuing that and continue surviving for the 60 years, and I hope to see you guys be more successful in that regard. I could say, congratulations.
Thank you, Councillor Ed. Next one I'm going to call up is Councillor Orville Abitagan, who you should know his grandfather was one of the founding board members in 1962. So, Orville.
Good afternoon, and welcome everybody. I am a grandson of one of the original founding members back in, 1962. My late grandfather, Donald Abitagan, was a longtime fisherman, and it continued in the family. We have a family of fishermen. I got late great uncles that were fishermen, and I spent many of my years in the summer out at Sandy Island there when the old guys were out there fishing, and I could see the hard work that was on a daily basis every morning. My late granny, Matilda Apatagan, would help dress the fish and prepare them so they could send them to the fishing station and ultimately sell their product, and you make a living that way. And I see many of my elders out there that were former fishermen and who have passed it on to their sons, and in that sense, you keep the tradition going, and it is a hard life, and ultimately, those who work hard are paid accordingly. So, I really didn't want to say too much, but I was always been in support of the Norway House Fishermen Co-op. Before I was a councillor, I helped the co-op get the Charlie Biggs operation. My former life, most of you know that I'm an accountant, and I prepared their business plan and ultimately they got their funding through the First Peoples Economic Growth Fund. So, in that sense, I was proud to assist them with their business operations and all that. And I fully support the Fishermen Co-op in every sense of the word, and to look forward to another 60 years. And I just want to congratulate all of you that work hard. Our fathers and our grandfathers, uncles, they all worked hard all their lives fishing and providing for their families that way. So with that, I want to extend congratulations again on 60 years, and hope to see it there, when I'm no longer here myself. And Mike here is a fisherman too, and I just want to say that I commend all of you.
Thank you, Orville. And incidentally as well, too, on his mother's side, too, as well. Her grandfather was a fisherman. I'm a third-generation fisherman on that lake from my Orville's mom's side, my dad's side. Anyway, our next guest that I'm going to ask to come and say opening comments and welcoming remarks is our mayor from our adjacent community, who incidentally was born and raised through fishing as well too. And him and I grew up in across Warren's Landing. Those of you that remember, we used to play a lot over there. And so I'm going to call up my brother, Mayor Leonard Butt.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, everybody. Congratulations to the fishermen for keeping the tradition alive for the last 60 years. It truly is a milestone. Imagine that, 60 years out there. I remember when I was young, bouncing around on a boat with my dad, green usually, but I was there. And it was not a very easy thing to do. But I see today, the technology that we have today, it's so much better for the fishermen, and it's a lot easier for them to do their jobs, and their production is a lot better. Granted that our lakes are pretty much been providers for our communities for a long time in terms of fishing. And to the elders that have passed on and now work or walk in the spirit world, that have left us with their teachings, and I hope that we all continue with those teachings of what our elders have taught us, my grandfathers, both sides, my grandfather Leonard Budd and Robert Mswagan. They taught me a lot about fishing, about how to live off the land. And that's a tradition that we should all continue to teach our young people and to learn from the elders as best we can. And again, I'd like to congratulate the fishers of today. Congratulations, you have truly reached a milestone. And let's hope for another 60 years of fishing. And thank you.
Thank you, Bo. His brother continues that tradition. He's just fishing with his late father's license. The next guest we're going to have is the president of Fresh Marketing Corporation, Stan Laser. If you can come up, and the next one will be Tom Lindsay right after that. And I also will be reading out a message from our Member of Parliament, Nikki Aston. She sent her, she was supposed to send a video. I guess this didn't work out. But anyway, I'm still trying to find out about the digit on that, how to get on. We're on Livestream. Norway's Communications. Okay, this Norway's Communications, folks. If you want to text somebody to, if you want to listen in, all right? So we get our president from Freshwater to come up and say a few words, please.
Oh, good afternoon. It's great to be here. I guess we were here 10 years ago for the 50th, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here and share the 60th anniversary with the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op. I just want to take a minute. I'm Stan Lazar. I'm the president of the corporation. We've got quite a contingent from freshwater fish. A good portion of our field ops group is here. Audrey Conte, who is our VP of Operations, is here. Dave Burgunder, Leon Benson, and Jason Grabowski are all here to share in this wonderful occasion. So with that, 60 years, you know, what I can say is that freshwater fish has certainly been part of that success. I would say it's success for 53 of those 60 years. And with that, we certainly understand what a co-op is and what the challenges and rewards are of running a fisher's co-op. We're a little different. It's a little bigger, and we play quite a role in actually marketing the fish that all of our co-ops and agents deliver to us in Winnipeg. But I can honestly and sincerely say that Norway House is one of the key partners that we have, that we want to certainly continue to have a good relationship with, and we value all of the hard work that everybody who fishes today and everybody who's fished for the last 60 years has done to really support the corporation and to, you know, provide Manitoba and Canadian fish throughout the world. So with that, we've got a little recognition here. Maybe Chris, would you mind coming up here? I'd like to present you with a token of appreciation and recognition for 60 years. Okay, so you can't, this is glass, so it doesn't show real well. I don't know if Chris can even see it. But this is just a token here to recognize 60 years of hard work, dedication, and success to the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op. And I just want to present that to Chris Clark on behalf of Freshwater and everybody at the corporation.
I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
I just want to say something. Since 1969, Freshwater is in corporation. I'd like to say that 100% of our fish production of the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op has gone to Freshwater Fish Marketing corporation, and we've always had a healthy relationship with them, and we continue to maintain that. Thank you.
Mr. Tom Lindsay, our MLA for the province of Manitoba.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be back in Norway House again, and I want to bring greetings on behalf of myself as your member of the Legislative Assembly and Wab Canoe, our leader, and I want to congratulate the Norway House Fishers Co-op on their 60 years of success. One of the first people that I met when I first found out I would be representing Norway House was Chris Clark and the Norway House Fishers Co-op. They invited me to come and meet with them to make sure that I understood the importance of what their co-op was and what it did, not just for the members, but also for the community. They wanted to point out what some of the issues were that I needed to be aware of if I was going to be successful in representing those folks. So I really want to thank Chris and the members of the co-op that I met that day, and certainly Chris and I have had many conversations since then. You know, we heard earlier that people that first formed this Fishers Co-op had a vision for what they wanted for them and their community. That vision has been successful, so they're to be commended for that. And everybody that's had a part of making sure that that vision has been successful, it deserves congratulations. Now, in conversation with Chris, I know that the present Norway House Fishers Co-op also has a vision. And I look forward to that vision being successful for 60 years and another 60 years, because it's people with vision that will be successful. The rest of us just need to make sure that we help those with that vision be successful, and that certainly is my role going forward, is to make sure that that vision comes to fruition and the Norway House Fishers Co-op enjoys many, many more years of success for the fishers and for the community. So thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Lindsay. I'm going to read you a message that was sent to us by our Member of Parliament, Nikki Aston. It says, "Hello, I would like to bring messages, congratulations on behalf of Nikki, who wishes she could be here today. Elders, leaders, fishers, families, friends, members of Norway House Cree Nation, today you are celebrating a historic anniversary, 60 years of Norway House Fishermen's Co-op, 60 years of exercising your rights, 60 years of inheriting and then passing on your family's legacy, 60 years of economic success, 60 years of a blazing trail. Norway House Fishers Co-op has given so much to our north, our province, our country, and the world. Through your tireless work, through your persistence, through your commitment to work together, you have created immense economic benefit to our region and provide the highest quality of fish and fish product to markets around the world. I will never forget some years ago meeting executives from a Finnish company that imported from you, how much they value what you harvested and their relationship with you. At a time when things look to undercut one another and many are struggling, you, the members of Norway House Fishermen's Co-op, are clear that you only by working together, looking out for another, is everyone better off. You are also clear with everyone that you, as rights holders, ultimate say in your livelihoods and your future. This is something that we must all respect. To the leaders, past and present, you have been and continue to be national advocates not only to your co-op, but from the Fresh Marketing Corporation, commercial fishers across our province and country. You have fought for fairness actions on key issues and won. To the staff of the co-op, you keep things going. To the families of the fishers, You go through so much sacrifice, worry, your support and work at the core of the success of 60 years. I'm happy and fortunate to get to know many members of the Fishers, so proud of the contribution of their family members. And to the Fishers, thank you for what you have given our region, our country. Your work is one of the hardest and often involves immense risk. Those have been challenging years, but you have kept going on an incredible legacy. To me, many of your co-op is a model of an inspiration. I am proud and honored to work alongside you. Here's many more years of success. Thank you for everything you do on behalf of our region and our country. Happy anniversary. Egosip. That's from our Member of Parliament, Nikki Aston. We're going to get into some PowerPoint presentations. Which one are we going to do first? Are we going to do yours first and tourism? Lisa's first. We asked Lisa Clark to put together a video presentation of our operation the last 60 plus years. But before I get into that, I need to acknowledge some of our other guests that had joined us as well too. Chris from Community Economic Development Fund. Say hi, Chris. And this Tom. I've known that guy for a long time. Him and I go back a long ways. I've been dry and alcohol free for the past 40 plus years. I've known him before then. We tipped a few beers, him and I, back in the Thompson. That was a long time ago. But I'm glad to see him well, and this is actually his final year this year. He is retiring, so thank you, Tom. And I know a lot of the fishermen in Norway you have come to know and met, and I'm sure they say thank you as well. And your colleague there, I forgot his name, the guy that you're taking over. Big Bird? Oh, Kirk, okay. He said Big Bird. All right, and we're going to get that. Should we trim the light, or is that good there, Russ? Just like that? You got your volume up and all that? All right, we're going to do the co-ops first, folks. If you can put your attention to on top of my nephew's head there, Russell. Come on. There we go. Those of you who want to send a text or something to who want to join us, it's YouTube, Norway House Communications, okay? It's on live stream.
Hello everybody, my name is Russell Bud Miswagon, and I work for the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op. I've been working for them for about 4 years now. I co-manage the resource department, resource technical department with Crystal there, and we have some techs. There's Brett Mowat and Corey Hart, Sophia Hallcrow, and Preston Miswagon right now. And our lead technician right now would be Dean Robertson, but he's currently not here. First of all, I want to say, 60 years is quite an accomplishment, and I'm proud to be employed by the co-op. And we've been working on a lot of things in the past 4 years here, and we've been meeting with a lot of different people, and our program has reached a big audience in the past 4 years, and we've been recently invited to speak in Spokane, Washington at the American Fisheries Society, and we're planning on traveling next week to the United States to present. So, one of the things that I find about the co-op is they're always trying to advance, and they're making great resource management decisions, and they're really proactive with keeping their fisheries sustainable, and that's going to be important, and it's going to be an important thing for the future and our future generations. So my presentation might be a little bit, I don't know if you call it boring, because there's some technical stuff in there, and I don't know if I could read it from here, so I got a copy here I'm going to be reading along with, so bear with me, and I'm going to do my best to get through it. So, the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op, Resource Management Technical Department. The Norway House Fishermen's Co-op was established in 1962, and the founding members' pictures hang in the co-op boardroom. And they're Donald Apatagan, Moses Apatagan, Richard Balfour, Kenneth MacLeod, Donald Miswagon, Richard Saunders, Oxton Sullivan, and Stephen Towers. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. And today they still follow the same structure, having board of directors, and the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op current board of directors, and that's President Christopher Clark, Vice President Stephen Robertson, and the board members are Ronnie Robertson, Brendan Papanicus, Alex Saunders, Thomas Bradburn, Mike Miswagon, Elmer Clark, and Kennedy Budd Jr. I forgot to skip over to the slide. Sorry about that. All right, a little bit of information about the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op here. There's 49 fishermen with 1 or 2 helpers each. There's 2 fish packing stations, that's Play Green Point Fishing Station and the Whiskey Jack Fishing Station, that's over on the north end of Play Green Lake. They got a fuel station with a convenience store. They got the Charlie Biggs restaurant. They also have a lumber yard, and we got a resource management technical department. Norway House Fishermen Co-op plays a major role in Norway House economy and employs approximately 200 people directly and indirectly. And here's the structure. We have to present to a lot of different people, and sometimes there are some stakeholders involved, and so that they got to know a little bit about the co-op. A lot of people that we've presented to before actually have a really good idea of the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op, and they've been working with them for many years. But in the recent years, we've been working with ISC and SPY funding from Canada, so they got all kinds of stakeholders from the provincial level all the way to the federal level, and a lot of times we got to present to them, and they got to know a little bit about what their funding and where their funding goes to. So we want to show them how proud of our co-op that. So we give them the structure, and you could see there from the governance structure, they got Norway House Fishermen's Co-op Board of Directors, and then they got Norway House Fishermen's Co-op, the general manager and administrative officer, Shelley, and everyone that works in the office there. Then it stems down there to the Rmtd department. Then you got the 2 fishing stations, you got the fuel station, you got Charlie Biggs restaurant, and I forgot to put the lumber yard on this slide, but they're a big part of it too. And there's Play Green Point Fishing Station there. I don't know if, I bet most of you saw it. If you guys went out in the lake, you could see it over on Play Green Point. And it's only accessible by boat or barge. And it's the co-op's biggest fish packing station. It's located on Play Green Lake. This year's annual quota was 808,000 kilograms, and that's round walleye and whitefish. So that's 2022's quota, and that's between the 2 fishing stations, but I thought I'd put it on this slide. And then there's a picture of the Whiskey Jack fishing station, and it's only accessible by road. Well, it's accessible by road, and if you want to go all the way around, you get there too. And in this slide, you could see the location of Play Green Point Fishing Station. You could also see where the office is for the co-op and Lake Winnipeg there. So you got a general geographical idea of where we're located and where some of our things are located. And now I'll get more into the technical department. That way some of the fishers don't really, that way they get a good idea of what we do and what we've been doing the past 4 years. We have 3 technical reports that are out, and then 1 will be published this summer. And also we got the framework for our stock monitoring program that we have developed with Skeena Fisheries biologist Kyle Warren, who has been a big part of the program the past few years. So we've been putting in a lot of work and developing this stock monitoring framework. We get an idea of if there's any alerts to our fishery, say there's no reproduction 1 year, or if our growth rate isn't right, we can detect that in the following technical department, and we can relay that information to the board members, which will then relay it to the fishermen, and it's a good way to be ahead of the game when it comes to being sustainable going forward. Okay, Rmtd Study Objectives. To obtain as much data as possible to create an action plan to keep the lake sustainable for future generations, create a stock monitoring program for the Lake Winnipeg North Basin and Play Green Lake, to gather information about the fish in our resource area, and also bridge the gap between traditional knowledge and science, keep our traditional way of life thriving with the help of new technology. Our fisheries monitoring program, the Resource Management Technical Department did the groundwork in 2018-2019 to create an ongoing fisheries monitoring program. Working with our biologist Kyle Warren on the pilot project has helped us determine the most effective ways to monitor fish stock and inform the project going forward. The intention of this project is to be an ongoing program. This will provide us with feedback on the health of our fish population in Lake Winnipeg and Play Green Lake. This will give us an indicator if there's any issues of the health of our fish and allow us to respond proactively if needed. In 2021, Dean Robertson took on the role of technician lead with direction from our biologist, Kyle Warren. Okay, this is from our earlier technical reports, one of our technical reports earlier, and we got a hydroacoustic machine that we also use. We'll be getting more into that in a couple slides down from here. But you could see where we do our index and our forage netting, and we do our spring and fall fishing, as well as our hydroacoustic surveys. You could see on the map. I don't know if you can see the legend. It's kind of small in comparison to the size of the room we're in. And these are our study areas. You can see the study area on Lake Winnipeg, and you can also you can see where we study on Play Green Lake, and that's from around the 8 Mile Channel over to about Kettle Island is where we do most of our study for Play Green Lake. And these are the different study sites. They're all labeled, they're all marked, and all our coordinates are on them. And you can see from Limestone Bay over to Spider Islands and further out from 2 Mile is where we have a lot of our locations. And we got a few ranging from the 8 Mile Channel to Kettle Island. This one is taken from our Google Maps. So just so you guys get an idea of how much studies, we hit these pretty much 3 times a year, spring, in the summer, and in the fall. In the spring and in the fall, we mimic the fishery, so we got an idea of the same. We try and catch the same size fish that they're catching. That way, we have a target of which age groups to study and which age groups to get more information on. So in gill net fishing in the spring and in the fall, we use net sizes 4 1/4 to 5 1/2, and we let them soak for about 2 hours. Then once you get the fish from there, we take the fish to shore and we take samples of the otolith scales and fins. The otolith is a little bone in the back of their brain, and if you crack it and burn it, you can actually get the age of the fish. So with the age of the fish and the length of the fish we catch, we can get the growth rate of our fish, and that determines how well they're eating and how healthy they are. So it's a big reason why we take the sampling the way we do. We also get scales and fins, and that also helps us determine the age of the fish. We also do the hydroacoustic testing, And it's pretty much just a big fish finder. As you can see in the pictures, that's how it looks before we place it in the water. And then we pull it beside the boat, probably about 4 knots. So we're moving pretty slow, or the techs are moving pretty slow. And they take all the readings in different transects across the lakes. And from the readings that we get, when our hydroacoustic system is set up, we do multiple transects, areas known to fish beneath. The transducer is so precise, it can tell you the size, in most cases, what species of fish it detects underneath. Our transducer can also tell what kind of substrate is underneath, so if they're traveling above sand or mud or rock or whatever it is, it can also tell you what's underneath the lake bottom. Rmtd uses a 120 kilohertz Biosonics hydroacoustic system connected to a Panasonic Toughbook laptop. The hydroacoustic system Toughbook laptop monitors the activity around the hydroacoustic that is submerged into the lake. We're able to see fish activity underneath and look around and around our watercraft. Like most other rugged laptops, it's designed to withstand forces that would normally damage or destroy a normal laptop. I don't know if you can make it out, but you can kind of see the readings that are taking place, and when it's in there, it's recording these readings as we travel. So our technologists, our biologists can actually look at these readings and determine what she's seen, because I guess, well, I can't look at those readings and determine what kind of fish they are. So we get help from her office in Skeena out in BC. In the summer months, we do summer index netting, and we use smaller nets. Here's some of the pictures, and you could see some of the smaller fish that we catch in the middle of the summer. The idea is to use nets ranging from 1/2 inch and up to catch a wide range of fish. The smaller nets catch prey fish, forage fish. Prey fish is important because it relates directly to the health of our walleye and northern pike populations. Index netting gives data on different species of prey fish we have in our lakes, and it's also important to look at these fish because we want to know what's coming up in the next few years that'll probably enter our harvest for the fishers. So it is also important to take a look at the fish coming up, also the prey fish that the fish are going to be eating, the walleye and that, and it gives us a good idea of their diet. This one's a long one here. So Rmtd Key Achievements. A pilot project was initiated in the Norway region of Lake Winnipeg and Pellegrin Lake to assess potential methods of estimating the population of fish that supports the commercial fishing industry, with a focus on lake whitefish and walleye. Work undertaken included creating profiles of the spring and fall fishery through sampling based on commercial fishing methods, fishery-dependent fish community sampling using variety of sizes of gill nets, fishery-independent hydroacoustic surveys to estimate fish density, and forage fish sampling using small mesh gill nets. The pilot study found the proposed monitoring framework to be feasible with small modifications. The initial data does not suggest an unsustainable fishery, and no managed actions are recommended based on all these findings. So the first couple of years we found that the fishery was sustainable, and we didn't need to make any changes to our fishery to keep it sustainable going forward, but monitoring would be important. The 2018-2019 pilot project for the Norway Fishermen's Co-op monitoring plan provides the most detailed description of fish communities in northern Lake Winnipeg and Pellegrin Lake to date. So the work that we've been doing the past 4 years has given the most details and published details that we've had in the province in our end of the lake since, I guess since they started looking at lake data. The pilot project feasibility tested most of the proposed indicators for the Norway House Commercial Fishery Monitoring Framework, and that's our stock monitoring framework that we created, titled WAR in 2020, and found the framework to be feasible as basis for a long-term monitoring program. And that was from 2020-2021's technical report. Norway House Fishermen's Co-op Resource Management Technical Department have been invited to speak at events such as the UCN Climate Conference and in 2022 the AFS annual meeting in Spokane, Washington. All right, some of our key findings to date, we could probably go on, and I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. So with the increased catch in 2020, it becomes noticeable that there is also a lower proportion of 7-year-olds broad year 2013 than might otherwise be expected. No lake whitefish from broad year 2013 were captured in Lake Winnipeg in 2019 either. However, broad years 2012 and 2014 do not appear to be underrepresented, suggesting that whatever may have resulted in poor recruitment for survival for broad year 2013 did not impact other years. So with the program, we determined that we haven't found any whitefish for 2013. Like, out of all the fish that we caught, there was none of that age. So there was a really poor recruitment for that age, and we don't know why, because 2012 and 2014 had a high recruitment of fish for lake whitefish. At present, there are no evidence to support a change in gill net mesh size to protect immature lake whitefish. Instead, monitoring of the age distribution of the lake whitefish should be continued, with actions only recommended if the age distribution shows a decrease in proportion to older fish. So, the fishery right now, the way it's running, it's running sustainable, and we do not need to make no action plans as of right now to keep it moving forward. The lake whitefish populations appear to have variable rates of recruitment and juvenile survival, with potential indicators of repeat cohort failure. This should be monitored closely going forward, and steps taken if necessary to protect populations in the event of another serious recruitment failure. So I just keep monitoring if there are years moving forward where there is no fish, we would have to figure out why there is a poor recruitment that year. Another thing we've noticed in this year and last fall is that we've shown more smelt in a summer forage index netting than previous years, and it should be documented in our next technical report that should be coming out soon. And one of the things I dropped off early in 2012 was smelt, and at the time we know there's a drop in walleye. So we're hoping that the increased amount of smelt will also bring more walleye back to the fishery, and it's a trend that continues going forward. All right, at this time I want to congratulate the Norway House Fishermen's Co-op on their 60th anniversary and celebrating 60 years from 1962 to 2022. It's quite a milestone, and I also come from a family of fishers. My grandfather Archie Budd was a fisher. I have uncles that fished, great uncles that fish. So it's always been something that I've been around, and I didn't know I'd become working in a fishery as a technical department manager. And when the opportunity arose, it was something I was very proud of, because it means a lot to me, and our resource area means a lot to me, the fishery and all that. And I really want the fishery to last another 60 years and more. with that, I want to say thank you. And, sorry about there's no sound out of the top when I couldn't get it going. Sorry it took some time to get there. So thank you all. Also, our funders are Strategic Partnership Initiative Canada and Indigenous Services Canada. They provide funding for our program through the Norway Fishermen's Co-op. And earlier on, we had to show them that Norway Fishermen's Co-op was an entity that was worthy of funding going through them. But we proved that to them, and everybody in the office shows that they do a good job with programming that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Russell, who incidentally is his uncle's the mayor from the community council side, so he comes from a long line of fishers as well too, and active people. We're going to have some presentations and gifts, so I'm going to ask the board of directors if they could all come up, and board members, hasta mikberatik. I think the Chief and Council had a gift that they're going to present as well too, so we'll be giving gifts, and I guess we'll be getting some too as well, so we'll wait for our president. Move it.
Okay. They don't have to open it because I didn't close that.
If we could have the council members that are present to come up too, please. That Eddie here, Chief.
Nistael, my father was a fisherman for 11 years.
11 years? 11. Gusto mo nang indicted, his father-in-law. Umamboy ka po ikas. Ito ka, sisimi ko, yan na.
For those of you that can't see that far, it's moose antler painting, York boat. I believe the moose was 8 years old, counting the points. It was an Askelman. Thank you, Chief Anderson, and leadership of the Norway House Cree Nation. On behalf of the board of directors and the commercial fishermen's co-op members, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Council. Now, that's the base. All right, I'm going to ask the board of directors to continue staying here. We got a lengthy presentation, and we're going to ask some members to come up. We're going to acknowledge our elder fishermen first, and first one we're going to call upon is he's at the hospital actually. Is Leslie Abitagan. I'm going to ask Veronica to come and accept his gift. The staff are going to be Leslie has been a commercial fisherman for many years, former board of director. Actually, Leslie is my uncle. No Humisawa. Leslie, and I'm going to ask my aunt Veronica to come up and accept his presence, because he can't come. He's at the hospital, like I said, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. I have no humis. Hopefully that you can leave the hospital soon. Thank you, Auntie. The next one I'm going to call up is another elder, looks like a young man, this guy, but Alfred Anderson Jr., if you can come up, please. We want to acknowledge you as well, too. We're acknowledging all our fishers that are active, that are 65 years and over. Junior, Hastam. And I should start calling, there's 3 more here, if you're here. Quizás, pero te gusto. Kennedy Bud Sr., Katsara, if you're here. If not, there's his wife's here. We got a gift for him. Lloyd Poker, if you're around. Another brother. Lloyd, come on up. Christopher Saunders. Quizás, pero te Chris. We're going to go get our active fishermen that are 65 years and over, and these guys are still out there. Oh, come on up. Give them a big hand, guys. These guys are tough, man. Next guy up is Lloyd Poker. My brother. Lloyd Poker, it's my brother, Chris Saunders. Anybody from Kennedy Butt Senior's family here? Ayun ito ako mga nakatsara ano. We'll get it to him. Yeah, all right. The fishermen that we have that are active right now, I'm going to be calling them out. Some of them are board of directors. Thomas Bradburn is the next one. Thomas Bradburn. Only right there. Robert Bradburn. Ang tagas ka pa sige on siya. Thomas Bradburn. Robert Bradburn, utanayaw. Archie Bud Jr. Fred Budd. You all might know we together with Fred. Kennedy Budd Jr. is not here. He's our board of directors. Kennedy Budd Jr. Fred Budd, Betsinogoso. Scott Peo. And Kennedy's not here. Next one is Christopher Clark, our president. Jose Pamati Babitska, Fred. Yeah. Christopher Clark, our president. Helmer Clark, board of director. Ian Clark, another young man. Is he here? Ian? Another young man, Thomas Clark. Thomas Clark. I seen him walking in here. Is Thomas here? Perote. Thomas. Wait, that's it. Young man, what? Thomas Clark. Another young man, John Cromarty. Tonio Scott, Bill. Tom. Tiffany Thomas. One of our board member just walked in here. Thomas Alec Saunders. John Dixon. John Dixon. Johnny Cromarty, oh, John Cromarty. John Dixon o tayo. Mot? Larry Edaway Capo. Larry Edaway Capo. Ito ba ito? Dale Evans. Are you here, Dale? Daryl Evans. Daryl Evans. Michael Evans. Michael Evans. Yo, may tinawaguta. He wears an ugly hat like Larry. Michael Evans. He's a bit too. Sky Evans. Very young man here. Another young man. Just starting out second year, second year fishing. First year? Oh, first year fishing. First year fisherman. He'll be here a long time, this one. Sky Evans. Ano tayo? Corey Hart. Corey Hart. Aaron Kiam. You come on up too, Aaron. That's Corey coming up over there. That guy's a very good fisherman, but he's also a very good hockey player, this guy. Like his dad, I guess. That's Corey Hart. Next one coming up behind him is Franklin Kiam. Franklin Kiam. Andrew Mino Jr. Andrew Mino Jr. John Mino Jr. John Mino, you got my bitirutta. That's Hector's brother, second generation fisherman. Frankie Mino Ista. Is he around, Frankie? Frankie Mino Tanayao. Delmar Mitchell. I think I've seen him here, Delmar. Yeah, there he is. Alan J. Moat. Alan G. Moat. Sorry. Motsayek. Sean Moat. Is he around? No? Andrew Moat Jr. Junior. What, Danny Moat. Danny Moat. Oh, Brendan Papanicus, one of our young board of directors. Bob Papanicus. Bob Papanicus. Johnny Cosicapo. Johnny Q. Damien Robertson. Damien. You getting for your dad? Thank you, Ben. Damien Robertson. Wait a bit. No, was it Johnny Robertson? I think he was here too. Johnny? Mr. Tumau. I call him Mr. Tumau. Damien Robertson, Johnny is coming up. There's going to be three brothers I'm going to be calling up here. Ronnie Robertson and Steve Robertson. Like I said, it's family business. And these guys are all earning their licenses to be out there fishing. Steve Robertson actually is our vice president. Alex Saunders, that's Thomas Saunders. The late Thomas Saunders. I guess he was working, we're going to let him have that, I guess. Delbert Saunders, is you around? Damien Saunders. Damien, oh there he is, right on man. Awesome. Next guy I'm going to call up is Fred, the young man Saunders. Oskinigisis. Come on up, Fred. And I know Langford, I don't think is here, eh? No. Next one I'm going to call up is his brother Patrick. Patrick Saunders. Been fishing for a long time. This guy is one of our elders in our group. He's a good man. And he used to be a former board of director. Served there many times, former president of our corporation at one time too. I want to call up his son, Timothy Saunders, too, as well. Come up. Congratulations to Timmy. He just got married recently. Oh, he's saying I got seen these Patrick. Elder man, we call each other elder. We're getting up there. Tim Saunders right here just got married. Congratulations, one of our young fishermen here. Sid Turner. That's the last of our active fishermen, folks. If you don't mind giving them a big hand. These guys out there work their butts off out there. It's not easy being out there. Oh, okay. I guess if I get one too, Mike Paswagan. All right, I'm going to call up the retired fishers. Some of these guys are young, but they pass it on to their sons or they sold off. A young man, Derek Papanagas, whose son is one of our board of directors, Brennan. He stepped down and gave his license to his son. He's still a young man, Derek. Next one I'm going to call up is John Robert Maswagan, another retired. I think he's was on the lake for about 30 years, bro. Do we have Teddy Papanikis in here? Ted? Does anybody from his family here? George Kwasikapo Sr., another retired fisherman. John Robert, incidentally, used to be a board of director at one time too. Bob Turner, our elder Bob. You better stand. Utebe si guspata ihani. Bob. Harry Flett Moutanayo. Harry Flett. Forty-seven. 47 years.
So 52 altogether, right?
Oh.
It's my top 3 years.
Oh. For your info, this guy fished for 47 years, I get it on. Yeah. And I was in the water for 52 years with his late father as well. So this guy's been in the water a long time. Give him a big hand. George. Harry Flett, I think his niece is going to come and get the gift. Thank you for coming. I think Harry's in a hospital. Vista. We got gifts presentation to the families of the fishers who have passed away since 2012. First one you want to call is the family of Andrew Evans. Andrew was a long-time active fisherman. Rosemary utanagitian. Thank you, Bob. Anybody from the Evans family? Andrew Evans, humagana? Descendants? We have a gift for you. Alan McLeod's family maayak. Alvin, pinata mo Andrew's stuff. Alan McLeod, anybody there from the family? If not, we can always try to get it to them somehow. Stanley Mino. Wait, Stanley Mino. See your daughter here. Lorna Berete. Anybody from Oliver Monkman's family here? Alvin here to collect a gift on behalf of the Andrew Evans family. Alvin. Vernon Red Mowat. Anybody here from that family? Mowat? We got a long list here, folks, so please bear with us. And we want to honor the whole families that Kagipe, former fishermen. Alex Papanagas, guy we used to know at Bongo. His wife is here. Delian. Yeah, grandson. That'll be the third generation, right, Derek? Third? Fourth generation? Your son's the fourth generation holder to that license? Right on, man. Is anybody here from the Frank Kosikapo family? Oh, Bessie's there. All right. Brendan's presenting as his grandmother. Bessie Foster's coming up for that. Lawrence Kosikapo. I think I've seen some of his family there. Reds, right on, Reds. We got Lawrence Kosikapo's brother coming up. What about Charles Saunders? Anybody from Charles Saunders? Edward Saunders. Reggie Hart collecting from Brother Lawrence. Charles Saunders' daughter. Melanie, you're coming on behalf of Edward Saunders? All right. And Loretta, you can come up too, please, for your dad's gift, if you don't mind. Charles Saunders' daughter's collected. Father. son too? Your son too? George Saunders. Ela vamos aqui ao bater. É? Bernadette. Pela lá, hein, cara? Ella's here to collect her late husbands. What? I'm sorry, Peter, we do want to. I apologize for that, fella. Brother-in-law, yeah, come on in. The family of Ralph Saunders. Melanie is still here. Okay. Oh, Winnie. Okay, Winnie. Come on up, Winnie. Daughter of late Ralph Saunders coming up. Winnie. Delson Scribe Sr. Anybody from that family here? Delson Scribe Sr. Late Stanley Sinclair's family. I see his wife and daughter coming. Stanley Sinclair? Stanley Pee Wee Sinclair. Oh. Yeah. The daughter's coming up. And we're going to have Walter Solomon's family here, Senior. Walter Solomon Senior's family. Anybody from the Solomon family here? Walter Solomon. Oh, okay. The daughter. Who incidentally, like Walter Solomon Sr., his father was the founding president of our corporation. Oxton Solomon is what was his name. Her grandfather, this young lady coming here that keeps dyeing her hair every week, I hear. I'm just kidding. Walter Solomon's daughter's here. Orville Saunders. Orville Saunders. Trying to throw me off the stage. You coming up? Come on up, man. I think it's his grandson family or his son. Oh, nephew. Okay. Thank you for coming up. And the last one that we have on our list is the family of David Bradburn. I think I've seen some right there. He was my neighbor at the Allen for many years. My late brother, David Bradburn. Next, we're going to do the long staff presentations. And we asked the folks, to bear with us. We got on our last page, okay? And then we should be able to eat right shortly after that. We got our staff presentation, long service awards coming up. Marty used to fish with his dad long, but I fish with Katsara now. Thank you for staying in the business. Staff presentations, we got a long service awards. So first off, we're going to start, and he's not here. He's not well, not feeling good today. Our manager. Our manager needs to be really acknowledged because this guy had a career job with the government. And 22 plus years ago, they went and got him at the ferry. He was our ferry operator. He could have retired already with a government pension, but they brought him here, and our co-op wasn't running as smoothly then. He turned things around, this man, and he's done an excellent job managing our co-op. And I'm going to ask maybe our president will say a few words too, and if anybody from his family here to come and get an award, Gary Saunders' family, his wife here. Nobody here for Gary. We'll keep it at, we'll give it to him. And again, how about a hand for Gary? Turn our business around. Thank you. The next one there is a guy that's been there forever. His name is Neil Budd. How many years has he been in there? 30 years. 30 years he's been around. Mr. Budd. He scales our fish, weighs our fish, throws our fish back at us if it's no good. He's a good man. But he also works for the co-op in between season. He's always around there working away. He's a committed man, 30 years to put into something, and I hope that you don't retire anytime soon, Mr. Budd. You're a good man. Thank you very much. Another guy I want to call up is, I'll call him my bro, Thomas Monroe. Thomas Monroe. How many years him? Thomas Monroe. He's our barge operator, this guy. He's the only guy licensed to operate that thing today. Thomas Monroe. Another young man, Nelson Evans. Where is he? Nelson, I seen him walking in here. I suppose I didn't recognize him. He had nice, clean clothes. He's been our captain of our barge for 20 years. Nelson Evans, what about Cameron Young? I'll talk about a patient man. I don't want to get into that. I might upset his wife. Cameron Young. This guy has been working for the co-op for 20 years. Nelson, Cameron Young, and we got Shelley Hart as well. Miss Shelley Hart. You gotta come up here, Shelley. She's the one that runs the office and keeps the books in order. And she's been doing a tremendous job for us. This guy has been working for the co-op for 23 years. And I don't want to ask him how many years he's been married to his wife. I need to give him a medal if I have to ask him that. That's kidding. Shelley Hart, how many years, Shelley? 21 years. Keeping us in operation as a young lady. Give her a big hand. Sorry, Nelson, you're not in Mino. You're in Evans. Mary Jane Kiam. Mary Jane Kiam, is she around? That old lady around still? Way over there, oh. Do you need a wheelchair over there? He starts running. All the way from Moose Lake, this lady. Oh, Easterville? Moose Lake. Oh, okay, Moose Lake. How many years? How many years? 15 years. Over 15 years, you have to put up with a guy like me. Give her a hand. Huwag isayin ito at sa kwesta kayo niya. Tyrell Henry, another young man here. He's been with us for quite a while. Tyrell Henry? Tyler. Tyler, yes, Tyler. Sorry, man. He's a regular fixture in our gas station, this guy. Been there for a long time. How many years, Tim? 10 years. How many years? He's been there for 9 years, this young man. We're going to retire him from there. We're going to get our station staff identified and recognized as well too right now. Aaron Monroe, come up. Aaron Monroe? He's not here? Chris Paul? Not here either? Tina Evans? If Nelson is here, Tina will be here. Because Tina will follow her husband wherever he goes. And whatever he says. Right, Tina? No. Dale Robertson? Dale Robertson. Preston Moniaz. Preston Moniaz. Pedro. Oita. All the way from Cross Lake. Jonathan Clark. Jonathan Clark. I thought that was the song guy. Bernal Colomb. Our president has asked him, "Are you glad we don't have a bridge? You would have went home a long time ago." That's kidding. Bernal Colomb. Alvin Furlan. That concludes our presentations. Oh, Kiavichan. One more page to go here. Those guys that are working on our station or handle our fish, these guys are strong. These guys are hard-working guys. The next one we're going to acknowledge is the Resource Management Technical Department that we have within our fishing operation. Crystal Crate. Crystal? Russell Budd. Brett Mowat. Sophia Halkrow. Sophia Halkrow. Alex, you gotta come up here. Sophia Halkrow is our world York Boat champion as well too. Just won a major event this past York Boat Days. Preston Miswagon, you around? Preston? The gas bar staff now we're going to identify. How do you see that? Sakira Clark. Come on up. Chastity Clark, come on up. Aiden Martin Hart, come on up. Marcus Nepen, come on up. Marcel Tate Scribe, come on up. And James Clark, come on up. We'll get, oh, there's James. All right. Now we got our Charlie Big staff. You got a pretty big operation here, as you can see, folks. They're all successful staff. We're going to call on Donalda Ross. Is that how we say it? Jill Ross. Jill Ross. That's her, eh, Jill? Jill Ross, are you here? Oh, he's coming up. Right on. Don Crate. I'm going to try to get these cooks here so you guys will know who they are when... Crystal Kiam. Elaine Crate. Patsy Clark. Shane Clark. Lenora Clark. Nicole Simpson. Robin Hamilton Harper. Faith Clark. Olive Budd. And Margaret Saunders. I want the community to, I'm going to get them up front here so the community will know who cooks for them when they order Charlie Biggs, okay? They're awesome ladies here. Awesome cooks. I want to show you guys off. Thank you. Stand over there. Thank you. Thank you. Stand over here. Here's your Charlie Biggs cooking crew, folks. If we get a picture for that, Bruce, please. Thank you, Charlie Big staff. Some of them are not here. Olive wasn't here, and Margaret is not here, probably taking care of her husband, Gary. So this pretty much concludes our gifts to the staff, acknowledging everybody. As you can see, we have a pretty big operation. Norway Fishermen's Co-op has grown immensely from the past 60 years. I was only 2 years old when they started this. So, but anyway, I just want to, I'm going to ask one of our board members to do a closing song, and we're going to have a community feast right after that. So, folks, please stick around. We're going to eat. We're going to share some bread, break bread together. You got some fish back there. You got smoked fish, pickerel, walleye, pickerel cheeks rather, I should say. Whitefish patties, smoked fish, and maybe I got our president or some of the board members trying to say a few words before we close.
On Nascuman he Berutian, you know, and just thank God for everything, you know, and Nascuman, you know, our dad showed us how to fish at a young age, you know, and an Nascuman is magwa, you know, pamichwin. You know, I was pulled out many times in playing baseball. I had to go fish with my dad, and a lot of things that we have missed in the summer. Manascuman say, you know, because that's our livelihood. And there were so many challenges through the years that we face as fishermen, especially the court system. We got you're taxed, but through our lawyer, for 9 years, you know, for the board members, I learned a lot. Nanaskumamina Langford used to tell me, you know, stay on. Even many things obstacles that we faced, you know, and I believe that's the only way a corporation will operate, is to help each other, whatever corporate, even what we have in a reserve, you know, when you work together, there's accomplishments, there's a lot of opportunities, as young guys that are here, you know, Mtd, to learn this trade. It's not easy, but you know, it's something that it's challenging. You know, people can say things, but when you go out there, it's a lot of different story. When you go into storms and you gotta wait, it's not like a 9-to-4 job. You know, you can go in and out anytime. The weather is unpredictable, and many times you gotta get up 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's what our dad showed us, to get up early. And you know, if you stay up late, and if you don't go early, the wind's gonna get you. You know, that's how we were taught and raised. And to be vigilant, even when you sleep 2 hours, because it's only a month of industry. 1 month wait to win a. And I believe, you know, all of these guys that I see, they may look round, but they're fit. This opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to ask all the fishermen that are in the crowd, if you guys can come up here. They want to get a group shot of all the fishers that are in here today. So we can put you on a calendar or something like that, okay? Fishermen, come up here. So I want to take a picture of our mug shots here, so come on up. Just a minute, right. All the fishermen, Pimbatak. Closing him. Okay, we'll get a picture first, Tom. Yep. All right. Yeah, he's in there too. Yeah. So all the fishermen are in here. Come on up, please. Cabbage. So guys, I could bend down in the front, okay? Well, all of us can do that nowadays without trouble getting up again. Thank you, guys. There's 48 active fishermen. 48 active fishermen, right? 49? There's 49 active fishermen. Some of them, as you see, are not here today. But I'm going to get Thomas to sing a hymn here, and maybe even do the blessing of the food as well too, maybe. And then we'll, do we have servers so we can have the elders and a table served? I can't see back there.
Test.
Hi, Cha.
So I want to say thank you for everybody that came, to the visitors. I thank you for all the workers, the staff, and every board member here, our president, our chief and council, the mayors and council. I just thank the Lord this to be a part of this community, the fishermen. My wife is at home, preparing the pickerel chicks. She's cooking it right now, and I know she's very busy at home, and she couldn't be